Chosen one, the universe has drawn a line in the sand, and your soul stands on its edge. What's coming isn't meant to destroy you, it's meant to reveal you. Because faith, real faith, isn't proven in comfort, it's proven in the storm. In 1914, when the Titanic sank, people said it was unsinkable. The world watched in disbelief as pride met the cold silence of the Atlantic. Yet in that darkness, amidst freezing waters and chaos, survivors spoke of hearing hymns, faint voices singing "Nearer, my God, to thee." Even as the ship went under, faith stayed afloat. And that's what this moment feels like for you, isn't it? The plans you thought were unsinkable, shaken, cracked, going under. But hear me, what's drowning around you is not your destiny. It's your illusion of control. God is not punishing you, He's positioning you. The iceberg didn't kill their faith, it revealed it. The same will happen with you. You've prayed, you've waited, and heaven feels quiet. That silence? It's not absence, it's incubation. Think of a seed buried under soil. It looks dead, forgotten, unseen. But underground, roots are being born. That's what's happening to you right now. You're not being buried, you're being rooted. When you can't hear God, it's because He's working beneath the noise. He's rewriting your foundation, preparing you for storms that would have destroyed who you used to be. So don't curse the silence, honor it. Because the same silence that confuses you now will soon echo with your victory. Someone you trusted walked away. Maybe they lied. Maybe they just disappeared when you needed them most. That pain, it wasn't random. Even Jesus was betrayed with a kiss. Divine souls attract both loyalty and betrayal because your light exposes people's shadows. But here's the truth the world doesn't tell you. Betrayal is a holy fire. It burns false love away so you can see who's meant to stay. It purifies your circle and sharpens your spirit. Don't waste your energy chasing who left. Thank them, they just made room for divine replacement. You thought it would happen by now, the breakthrough, the call, the answer. But divine timing doesn't follow human clock. Abraham waited decades. Joseph waited in prison. Even the stars wait for night to shine. Delay is not denial, it's divine choreography. God's not late, He's strategic. Every "not yet" is aligning the right door, the right season, the right heart. If you got it too soon, you wouldn't be ready to keep it. So let patience be your armor. What's meant for you isn't running away, it's being refined for your arrival. The enemy's loudest whisper comes right before your breakthrough. That voice saying, "What's the point?" It's fear disguising itself as logic. But you're not here by accident. You've survived too much to quit now. Faith is not pretending everything's fine. It's standing when everything says you shouldn't. It's shouting, "Still I rise," when your knees are shaking. Remember this. The same fire that tries to consume you is the one that forges your crown. You don't escape the fire. You emerge from it, glowing with divine resilience. There are nights when you lie awake, staring at the ceiling, and your mind becomes a battlefield. Every fear, every doubt, every "what if" circles like vultures waiting to feed on your peace. You try to pray, but even your prayers feel heavy, like your words are falling flat against heaven's door. But listen closely, the night isn't your enemy, it's your initiation. Every chosen one must walk through a season where the light hides, not to punish but to prepare. Because only in the dark do you learn to trust what you cannot see. And one morning soon, you'll realize the sun didn't just rise around you, it rose within you. The darkness wasn't endless, it was sacred training for your light. When hurricanes hit, trees with shallow roots fall first. But those with deep roots, they bend, they sway, they creak, yet they remain. That's you right now. The winds are fierce, the pressure is real, but the storm is not here to destroy your life. It's here to expose your depth. You've learned to stand when everything else breaks. You've learned that peace isn't the absence of chaos, it's the power to remain calm in it. And soon, when the storm clears, people will ask how you survived what crushed others. You'll smile, because you'll know the truth. You didn't survive by strength, you survived through faith. There's a moment in every soul's journey when you must face the reflection, not the one in the glass, but the one inside. The you that hides behind the smile. The you that's tired of being strong. The you who wonders if God forgot your name. That confrontation is not weakness, it's awakening. The universe doesn't send you mirrors to shame you, it sends them to free you. When you finally stop pretending and let the pain speak, healing begins. Because truth is the door to transformation. You can't evolve into who you're meant to be while pretending you're still who you were. The real you, the divine, powerful, radiant you, is emerging through the cracks. Don't hide her, don't rush her, just keep becoming. Every story written by God has a turning point, and right before it happens, everything seems worse, darker, heavier, hopeless. That's because the universe balances energy before a breakthrough. It empties your hands before placing blessings in them. So if you've lost something recently, a friend, a dream, a job, understand this. The loss is a sign of rearrangement, not rejection. Karma is clearing the path. Energy is resetting your alignment. Soon, the same doors that closed will look small compared to what opens next. When divine reversal happens, it won't just restore what was taken, it will multiply it. Because you didn't lose by accident, you were pruned for expansion. Do you feel it? That pull in your chest, the sense that something greater is calling your name? That's not anxiety, that's remembrance. Your soul is remembering what it came here to do. The storms, the losses, the waiting, they weren't random. They were coded awakenings, whispering, you are chosen. And you are. You're not just here to survive, you're here to shift the atmosphere. You carry divine energy that changes rooms, heals hearts, and breaks patterns. The test of faith isn't meant to destroy you. It's meant to show the world what unwavering belief looks like in human form. So when everything feels uncertain, stand strong. Because faith isn't what you hold when life is easy. It's what holds you when it's not. There was a point, wasn't there, when you were this close to quitting? You told yourself, maybe it's not meant for me. The rejection letters, the unanswered prayers, the silence from those you trusted, it all started to feel like a cosmic no. But chosen ones are never rejected, they're redirected. The path you thought was ending was only bending towards something higher. Sometimes God allows you to reach the edge, not to watch you fall, but to prove that you can fly. You weren't meant to retreat, you were meant to rise. And every ounce of pain you felt in that almost breaking moment was the universe cracking open the shell around your next chapter. You've noticed it, the distance, the separation, the isolation that feels like exile. But solitude is never punishment for the chosen, it's preparation for leadership. When Moses was called, he was alone in the desert. When David was anointed, he was alone with the sheep. When Jesus prayed, he was alone in the garden. The divine separates before it elevates. You've outgrown the frequency of the crowd, and that's why you no longer fit where you used to belong. Loneliness is your classroom right now, teaching you discernment, showing you who's aligned with your energy and who was only attracted to your light. You're not being left out, you're being set apart. Fear always greets destiny at the door. Before every breakthrough, the enemy doesn't send disaster, he sends doubt. He whispers, what if you fail? What if no one believes in you? What if you're not ready? But chosen one, fear is not a stop sign. It's a signal that you're stepping into sacred territory. The unknown is not empty, it's pregnant with potential. You weren't called to play small, you were built to walk where others hesitate. The universe doesn't reward the comfortable, it rewards the courageous. And when you stare fear in the face and take that first trembling step, heaven moves with you. When something precious is taken from you, it feels cruel, senseless. But loss is one of God's greatest teachers. A forest fire destroys, yes, but it also releases seeds that only bloom through heat. Without the burning, there would be no rebirth. Every person, opportunity, or dream that left your life created space for something divinely engineered. The pain didn't end you, it refined you. It carved wisdom into your bones. And someday you'll look back and say, if I hadn't lost that, I would have missed this. Because what was removed wasn't meant to reduce you, it was meant to reveal the depth of your faith. You'll never know how many disasters you've already been spared from, how many times heaven said, not this way. The missed call that kept you home, the delay that saved you, the rejection that rerouted you. Every no was divine armor disguised as disappointment. You think you're fighting alone, but legions of unseen forces surround you. You don't see them, but they're there. protecting, guiding, shielding. God's hand doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it simply redirects your steps in silence. So next time something doesn't go as planned, whisper this truth. That wasn't failure. That was protection. Have you noticed how quickly life can shift? One day it's calm. The next, everything you built feels like it's shaking apart. But chosen souls are meant to evolve through suddenness. The universe disrupts you to develop you. It removes comfort so you can embody purpose. Change doesn't come to destroy peace. It comes to awaken potential. And while everyone else panics in transition, you learn to dance in divine motion, trusting that chaos is not random, but reordering. Every ending you face now carries the seed of a beginning you can't yet see. The ground beneath you isn't crumbling, it's transforming. The hardest wars are never fought outside of you, they're fought within. Your thoughts can turn into weapons if you let fear hold the trigger. One day you're full of faith, the next your mind whispers lies. You're not good enough, you're too late, you've failed too much. But that voice isn't you. It's the echo of old pain trying to convince you you're still broken. Chosen ones must learn this truth. Mastery of destiny begins with mastery of thought. Every time you choose hope over fear, peace over panic, faith over doubt, you realign with divine energy. You don't fight darkness by screaming at it, you outshine it. And when your mind becomes your ally, no external battle can break you. Gold is never pure when it's found. It's covered in rock, scarred with impurities, until it's placed in fire. That's what your trials have been, not punishment, but purification. Every heartbreak, every failure, every tear was melting away what you no longer needed. You were being refined into clarity, courage, and spiritual weight. The fire didn't destroy you because it couldn't. It was never meant to. It only revealed what was already divine within you. And now, when people look at you, they'll see the glow of endurance, the unmistakable shine of a soul that's walked through hell and came out heaven-lit. Forgiveness doesn't mean what they did was right. It means you refuse to stay chained to what broke you. Unforgiveness is spiritual poison. It ties your energy to the past and blocks divine flow. Chosen one, when you release resentment, you free not just them, but yourself. Forgiveness doesn't say, "You deserve peace." It says, "I deserve peace." And when you forgive, karma shifts, because grace always outruns bitterness. You stop repeating old lessons and start receiving new blessings. The heart that forgives becomes the vessel God trusts most, because it can carry light without leaking pain. We live in a world obsessed with control, but the universe moves through surrender. When you stop fighting for what's fading and open your hands to divine timing, you enter flow. Surrender isn't giving up, it's giving over. It's saying, "God, I trust you even when I don't understand you." It's releasing your plans to make room for His. And that's when miracles happen, not when you're gripping tightly, but when you finally let go. Because the moment you surrender, divine orchestration begins. The storm calms, the path clears, the burden lifts, and you realize you were never meant to carry it all, only to trust through it all. There's a moment when survival turns into calling, when you stop asking, "Why me?" and start declaring, "Use me." You've endured too much for your story to stay silent. Every scar on your spirit holds a sermon. Every wound carries wisdom that someone else needs. Chosen one, your life is not random. It's a ripple in divine design. The pain you survived wasn't meant to end with you. It's meant to heal through you. Your voice, your energy, your light, they're all weapons against darkness. And when you finally accept that your journey wasn't a curse but a commissioning, purpose ignite. You become unstoppable, because you're no longer chasing destiny, you're embodying it. Lately, you've noticed patterns, repeating numbers, synchronicities, strange coincidences that feel too exact to ignore. That's not imagination, that's divine language. The universe speaks through rhythm, through repetition, through signs that whisper, "You're on the right path." Every aligned moment is a divine breadcrumb leading you closer to your purpose. Don't dismiss it, don't rationalize it. Those chills, those sudden moments of peace after prayer, they're confirmations. You're walking in sacred timing. The old cycle has closed, the new one has begun. And from now on, life won't just happen to you, it will flow through you. because you and destiny are finally walking in the same direction. The moment you awaken to who you truly are, the universe places a new weight on your shoulders, not to crush you, but to crown you. The chosen are not chosen because it's easy. They're chosen because they can carry what others can't. That calling you feel, that burning in your chest that won't let you rest, it's not anxiety. It's divine urgency. It's the whisper of heaven saying, I've trusted you with more. You'll notice that your standards rise. You can't do what others do anymore because your spirit knows better. Responsibility feels heavy, yes, but it's also sacred, because when God trusts you with spiritual weight, it means He's preparing to use you as a vessel for something extraordinary. There comes a time when everything you've been through, every heartbreak, delay, and detour, suddenly makes sense. The pieces fit. The pain has purpose. You'll look back and realize that what once felt like chaos was divine choreography. The doors that closed were never rejection. They were protection from smaller destinies. The people who left didn't abandon you. They graduated from your story. And the tears you cried, they watered the ground of your becoming. This is the moment of revelation, when the mystery turns into meaning. When you finally understand that nothing was wasted, and everything was preparing you for the version of yourself that was always meant to rise. Right before a rocket breaks through the atmosphere, resistance is at its peak. The air thickens, the pressure intensifies, and that's exactly how you feel right now. The enemy isn't attacking you because you're weak. He's attacking you because you're close to a breakthrough, close to transformation, close to the divine moment where your obedience collides with opportunity. The pressure you feel is proof that something sacred is about to launch. So don't mistake resistance for rejection, it's confirmation. The energy that feels heavy now will soon convert into momentum. And when it does, you won't just rise, you'll ascend. Somewhere along the journey, you gave your power away, to fear, to disappointment, to people who didn't value your energy. But now, the universe is calling it back. Piece by piece, breath by breath, your soul is reclaiming everything it once surrendered. You're remembering your worth, your authority, your divine identity. You no longer need validation because you understand alignment. What is left no longer defines you. What broke you no longer controls you. And when you walk in that truth, that you are a being of divine light, not limitation, life itself begins to obey your energy. You don't chase anymore, you attract. You don't beg anymore, you become. After the storm, after the struggle, after the tears, peace arrives quietly. Not as a feeling, but as a knowing. It's the kind of peace that doesn't make sense to anyone else, because it wasn't bought by comfort, it was born through chaos. You've stopped fighting the current. You've stopped forcing outcomes. You've learned that peace doesn't mean everything's perfect. It means you're anchored, no matter what happens. And that peace, it's your proof of growth. Because peace is the graduation of faith. It's what happens when the chosen one finally realizes that God was never far away. He was carrying them the entire time. When your energy aligns, miracles become natural. They don't arrive with thunder, they unfold with precision. A call, a door, a word at the perfect moment. Synchronicity becomes your new normal. You'll see how divine timing rearranges the impossible. It's not magic, it's manifestation through faith. Miracles don't happen to the chosen, they happen through them. And soon, you'll notice the shift. The same places that once rejected you will now request you. Because your energy has changed, your vibration has risen. And when heaven recognizes itself in your frequency, reality has no choice but to respond. There is always a strange stillness right before destiny makes noise. The world goes quiet, doors pause, conversations fade. It feels like everything has stopped moving, but that silence isn't emptiness, it's spiritual tension. It's the inhale before the exhale of breakthrough. God pauses time when He's about to accelerate you beyond reason. It's the hush before the trumpet, the calm before the curtain rises. So when life goes silent, don't panic, listen. The universe is taking its breath, aligning every detail, every person, every moment to launch you into divine timing. Stillness isn't the absence of progress, it's the proof that heaven is staging your reveal. Just before you rise, distractions come disguised as opportunities. People return. Old habits resurface. New offers appear, each one whispering, "This is easier." But chosen one, the closer you get to purpose, the louder the counterfeit becomes. Distraction is the last weapon of delay. It doesn't need to destroy you, it only needs to deter you. So guard your focus like sacred fire. Not everything good is God-sent. When peace leaves the room, that's your sign to walk away. Because your destiny doesn't need convincing. It flows naturally, silently, powerfully. You've come too far to settle for what almost looks like your promise. Not everyone sent into your life will come with a title or a halo. Some will look ordinary, a stranger with kind words, a friend with divine timing, a message that arrives when you need it most. These are your earthly angels, human vessels of divine guidance. The universe plants them in your path to remind you that you're not alone. Sometimes they speak a sentence that shifts your entire reality. Don't overlook them. Don't dismiss small encounters. Because God rarely announces help with thunder, He sends it quietly, wrapped in human form. Every divine assignment has divine assistance, and yours is already on the way. There was a time when laughter felt foreign, when you smiled for others but couldn't feel the light inside. But now joy is returning, not as shallow happiness, but as a deep spiritual calm that glows from within. Joy is proof that your spirit survived what your mind thought would destroy you. It's the song your soul sings when pain finally runs out of power. And when joy comes back, it brings clarity, gratitude, and strength. You begin to thank God not just for what He gave, but for what He took, because you realize everything that left made room for this sacred peace. This is resurrection, not of life, but of light. Every great calling requires one final moment of separation, a quiet exile before emergence. You'll notice things slow down, invitations fade, familiar faces grow distant. Don't resist it. This is your cocoon. Before a butterfly flies, it dissolves inside the chrysalis, completely. That's what's happening to you. Everything familiar is melting because transformation requires the surrender of the old self. It's uncomfortable, yes, but you're not being erased, you're being rewritten. And when you emerge, wings will replace what once felt like wounds. The isolation isn't rejection, it's rebirth. You are not disappearing, you are becoming visible to heaven. This is it, the moment your soul has been training for. Every test, every tear, every delay has led to this alignment. The storm has passed, the silence has served its purpose. You've proven faithful in darkness. Now, the light responds. The universe moves when you move in faith. Heaven is no longer testing you, it's trusting you. And when God trusts you, the impossible becomes natural. Your destiny isn't coming, it's arrived. This is your appointed hour. The tables are turning, the gates are opening, and the same energy that once broke you will now bow to you. There comes a time when heaven balances the scales. You've endured betrayal, mockery, and being misunderstood, yet you never stopped walking in integrity. You didn't fight back with vengeance. You let karma handle what your kindness couldn't. And now, divine justice is in motion. Every hidden truth will surface. Every false word spoken against you will dissolve in the light of clarity. The energy you gave out, pure, honest, loyal, is circling back multiplied. Don't seek revenge. Watch redemption unfold. Because when God vindicates you, it won't just silence the noise. It will rewrite your name in glory. Justice delayed is never justice denied. It's divine timing, saving the reveal for when the world is watching. Rejection feels final, doesn't it? Like a slammed door echoing through your spirit. But what if rejection was simply redirection? The universe moving you out of small rooms so you could enter sacred halls. You were never meant to fit where you were overlooked. The no you received was heaven's way of protecting you from mediocrity. Every rejection you faced was secretly an affirmation. You deserve higher. And soon, the same tables where you were ignored will host your breakthrough. Because the divine doesn't forget those who kept believing after being broken. Rejection didn't reduce your worth, it revealed it. You weren't denied, you were preserved. Sometimes, the strength you feel in your darkest hours isn't your own, it's ancient. The prayers of those who came before you still vibrate through your bloodline. You are the answered prayer of generations who dreamed of a day like this. Their courage flows through your veins. Their endurance lives in your heartbeat. That's why you rise even when you're tired, because your lineage refuses to quit. The universe doesn't start new miracles. It continues old ones through willing souls like you. You are carrying centuries of unfinished victories. And when you win, it's not just for you, it's for everyone who never got the chance to see their light shine through you. When clay is shaped, it cracks. When glass refracts light, it must first be cut. You had to be broken to become transparent, so the divine could shine through your fractures. Your brokenness didn't make you unworthy, it made you available. God can't fill what's already full, He fills what's been emptied. And your tears, your sleepless nights, your silent screams, they've become sacred oil in the hands of heaven. From this point forward, the same places that saw your breaking will witness your blessing. Because the broken vessel is the one God pours through the most. Your cracks aren't flaws, they're conduits for light. Energy shifts without warning. The same wind that once resisted you now carries you forward. The battles that drained you are losing power. The patterns that trapped you are dissolving. The tide has turned, not by luck, but by divine law. Your vibration has risen beyond the frequency of struggle. The universe mirrors your inner state, and now your peace is magnetic. Everything that's yours begins to flow naturally toward you. This is not a coincidence, it's compensation. You've paid the price in patience. Now comes the payout in peace. The waters that once tried to drown you are now lifting your ship. Every test you've faced has been preparation for this, the mantle moment. When the divine decides it's time to hand you authority, there's no vote, no debate, only recognition from heaven. Your pain was training, your faith was your weapon. Now your presence carries power that can shift atmospheres. You'll notice people listening differently, doors opening effortlessly, energy bending in your favor. That's the mark of anointed authority. It's not ego, it's evidence of obedience. You are stepping into a higher realm of purpose now, not to rule over others, but to guide, to heal, to awaken. This isn't a promotion, it's an appointment. You've been tested, tried, and now trusted. You never knew how strong you truly were until life demanded it. When the support disappeared and every safety net ripped away, something ancient within you awakened. That's divine strength, quiet, unshakable, born in pain but carried by purpose. You see, strength isn't the absence of fear, it's the decision to move despite it. When you thought you'd break, you bent. When you thought you'd fall, you flew. That was God showing you the truth. You were never fragile, you were forged. The weight you once cursed became your witness. Now you understand, you didn't survive because you were lucky. You survived because you were chosen. There were seasons where nothing made sense, where every direction looked wrong, and every choice felt uncertain. You prayed for clarity, but all you got was chaos. But the divine never gives answers too soon. He lets confusion stretch your discernment. Because spiritual clarity isn't given, it's grown. Now you see differently. You sense energy before it speaks. You recognize truth not by logic, but by peace. What once confused you now feels transparent. The fog has lifted and revelation stands clear. This is the reward for not quitting in the dark. You've earned divine eyesight. You no longer just see, you perceive. You spent years being who the world told you to be, shrinking yourself to be loved, silencing your voice to keep the peace. But now, the masks are falling. Your soul can't pretend anymore. Authenticity has become survival. And that's the essence of healing. Not changing who you are, but returning to who you were before the world told you to hide. The divine never designed you to blend in. He designed you to break patterns. So stop apologizing for your fire. Stop softening your light. You are not too much. You are exactly enough for the mission you were born for. This is your era of unapologetic truth. Long before you knew your name, your path was spoken into existence. Every delay, every detour, every heartbreak, it all matched a pattern only heaven understood. You weren't late, you were aligning with prophecy. And now, that time has arrived, the season where words spoken in faith begin to materialize in form. The vision that once looked impossible is becoming tangible. This isn't a coincidence. This is a divine manifestation. The prophecy over your life is maturing right before your eyes, and when it unfolds, you'll realize nothing was lost, nothing wasted, nothing random. It was all rehearsal for revelation. Not everyone could have walked through what you did and still kept their hearts soft. Endurance is a crown few ever earn, and you've worn it quietly, faithfully, relentlessly. You didn't just endure the storm, you grew roots under it. And now, heaven honors that, because endurance proves devotion. Anyone can believe when it's easy, but you believed when it hurt, when it made no sense, when every voice said, "Give up." You stayed, you prayed, you kept moving, and now you walk in an authority born only through endurance. Your patience has become your power. Your resilience has become your royalty. Lately, you've felt it, the air around you changing. People respond differently. Energy feels lighter. Doors open smoothly. That's because your frequency has risen beyond old resistance. When your inner world changes, the outer must follow. It's universal law. You're no longer fighting for alignment. You are alignment. And as your vibration stabilizes, miracles manifest naturally. This is spiritual gravity reversed. Blessings are now drawn to you instead of running from you. It's not arrogance, it's awareness. You're living proof that when energy meets obedience, reality bows to purpose. This isn't luck, it's divine resonance. There comes a sacred point when God asks for something that feels impossible to release, a dream, a person, a version of you. You hesitate because it feels like a loss, but in the divine realm, surrender is never subtraction, it's exchange. Whatever you let go of in faith returns multiplied in grace. When Abraham lifted Isaac, heaven returned destiny. When you release what you love most, you prove what you trust most. And that's when the supernatural takes over, when the hands of heaven replace what your hands have released. Chosen one, you're not losing, you're trading temporary comfort for eternal alignment. The altar is not a place of death, it's a place of divine transaction. When light enters a room, shadows scatter. That's what's happening around you now. Exposure. Hidden motives are surfacing. False intentions are being revealed. It's not to shame, it's to shield. God is uncovering what's been draining your energy so you can protect your anointing. Every truth revealed right now is divine mercy in disguise. You prayed for peace, and heaven responded by removing everything that pretended to offer it. Don't cling to what's being exposed, thank God for it, because when the fake falls away, authenticity flows in. Exposure is never destruction, it's deliverance, and once you see the truth, you can never be bound by illusion again. Chosen one, hear this, you were never fighting for survival. You were being sculpted for significance. Every delay, every heartbreak, every lonely night had purpose. You weren't forgotten, you were forged. God was building something eternal in you, a faith that doesn't collapse under pressure, a strength that doesn't fade when tested, and a light that refuses to dim no matter how dark the storm gets. Now you stand on holy ground, not because life got easier, but because you got wiser. You've learned that divine timing is never late, only layered. You've learned that rejection was redirection. And you've learned that the pain that once tried to destroy you actually trained you to carry power. This is your awakening moment, where your faith graduates from hope to authority. The storm didn't break you, it baptized you into purpose. You no longer walk by sight, but by divine knowing. You no longer pray in fear, but with fire. Because you've seen what happens when faith refuses to fold. Heaven moves. So now, walk boldly into your next chapter. Walk like someone who's seen the grave and still believes in resurrection. Walk like someone who knows that every step is backed by eternity. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are becoming the prophecy that once sounded too impossible to believe. And before you go, if these words stirred your spirit, don't just scroll away. Join this divine movement. Like this video if it spoke to your soul. Comment, "I receive this," if you feel heaven confirming it in your heart. And subscribe, not just to a channel, but to a community of believers who refuse to bow to fear, who walk in divine truth, and who stand together as the chosen. Because this isn't just another message, it's your confirmation. Your faith is about to be tested, but this time, you'll stand and never fall again. Amen.